Hello fellas, what's up? Hope you're having fun. One day at 3 am, I was just scrolling through the internet trying to find something good, and of course, there are lots of interesting topics I found there. And I said to myself, why not make a massive video myself? And this is the topic that my dumb mind crossed into. So let's begin with a sheep named Dolly. On 5th July 1996, a lamb was born named Dolly, which is not any ordinary lamb. She was cloned from an adult somatic cell, and instead of any father, she had only three mothers, each of them having important cloning process. One provided the egg, which was a Scottish blackface, another one provided the DNA, which was a fine Dorset. The nucleus, or more likely in simple terms, the DNA, was fused into the empty ovum. Then it was stimulated with the shock to begin developing into the blastocyte stage. Now finally, the third mother, which was a Scottish blackface surrogate mother, was used to carry the blastocyte. After so many tries and death of cloned animals after just being born, this particular lamb got into its feed very quickly and got its first feed of milk from its mother. It was a miracle came true, as the cloning of mammals was thought to be impossible. Dolly lived her entire life at her birthplace, where she was bred with a Wells mountain ram and gave birth to 6 lambs initially. But unfortunately for her, she was diagnosed with progressive lung disease and severe arthritis, a common disease among sheep, and had to be euthanized on 14th February 2003, living her best 6.5 years. Horse! Now, if you talk about famous historical horses, there are quite a lot, but one of them is the 1580s trainer William Bownkes horse. The horse was born in 1586 in Staffordshire, England, and was in bay colour. William Bownkes soon after obtained the horse and named him Morocco, after the Morocco leather from which saddles were made back then. Bownkes later sold his possessions and used the money to buy some silver horse shoes for Morocco. Bownkes then moved to England to perform acts with Morocco. Morocco could walk on 2 and 3 legs, and even play dead. He could tell the difference between colors and could pull out particular audience members on Banke's command. In one stunt, Morocco drank a large bucket of water and then urinated on Banke's command. Oh god, tell me what Morocco cannot do. He could even pick out freaking virgins. What the fluff? How do you even do that? Does horses have some kind of superpower to identify virgins? He was even trained to bow to the queen of the time. I hope that's it. Well, no. Morocco could even count the coins that they earned. And you guess what other things he can do with coins? Guess. Trust me, you cannot. He could tell which coin belonged in the audience and how many. No wonder Morocco was this popular in 15th and 16th century. By the mid-1590s, Morocco and Bownkes had become some of London's most popular and wealthy entertainers. Popular historians and journals would talk about Morocco and describe him as familiar, which meant spiritual guardians back then. People would call the performance as it was done by magic. In 1601, Bownkes and Morocco traveled to Paris, where he became so immensely popular that one Parisian officially arrested him for sorcery. Soon after, he went to Orleans to perform the act, and it was a huge success until he got arrested again and was sentenced to burn at the stake. To prove he was not a witch or of a devil, they were given a lasso to prove themselves. In the performance, Morocco knelt down before a cross to prove he was not of the devil, and they were freed and even given money and given commendations for their troubles. Imagine being doing extraordinary feats and even had to prove that you are not of the devil. He was truly a great horse. Mammoth. I'm joking. Of course you've heard about Jumbo. Jumbo's life began with the traumatic separation from his mother in the savannas of Africa. He was caught by hunters who killed his mother. Then he was sold to an Italian animal dealer, and then to Germany. Soon after he was imported to France, where he was kept in the Paris Zoo Jardin des Plantes. But that didn't last long. His popularity and fame really began when he was transferred to London Zoo in 1865. In the following years, he became a crowd favorite. Jumbo would give rise to children, which at the time not all elephants would allow that, but Jumbo did. Tens of thousands of children rode on his back, including some famous peoples, including Teddy Roosevelt, Queen Victoria's children, the young Winston Churchill, and so many. In 1882, Abraham Baeddd, superintendent of the London Zoo, decided to sell Jumbo to the American entertainer Phineas T. Barnum for $10,000. This decision, however, sent the citizens of London into a panic. 10 to 15,000 of people went to Zoo every day to pay their respects to Jumbo. Around 100,000 school children wrote letters to Queen Victoria, begging her not to sell Jumbo. Many zoological gardens alleged that the sale was in violation of multiple zoo bylaws. However, even after so many attempts to stop the sale, Barnum eventually won and took Jumbo to America. In New York, Barnum exhibited Jumbo at Madison Square Garden. gathering tens of thousands of people. In the 31-week season, the circus earned a massive amount of $1.75 million. In the following years, Jumbo was used to advertise many different varieties of product and services. However, on September 15, 1885, Jumbo met his demise after a train hit him from the back directly, killing him within minutes. Loyalty. The greatest dog in history, Hachiko, the Akita who became a symbol of loyalty. Hachiko's story begins with him being born on 10 November 1923 in Odate, Akita Prefecture, belonging to a farmer named Saito Yusukaju. After some time passing the year 1923, Hatsubori Yuno, a professor in the agriculture department at the Tokyo Imperial University, was looking for a purebred Japanese dog for himself. Lucky for him, one of his students was working in Akita Prefecture and bought the few days old Hachiko for Yuno. Yuno, who had no children, would cherish the pup like his own child and lay him sleep under his bed and eat with him. Yuno would name this pup Hachiko. Unfortunately for both of them, Yuno had to commute daily to work. Hachiko would leave the house to greet him when Yuno would come back after a long day from work at the end of each day at the nearby Cebu station. They both would continue the daily routine until May 21st, 1925, when Yuno did not return. Yuno had suffered a cerebral hemorrhage while giving a lecture to his class, and he died without returning to the train station at which Hachiko, his beloved dog, waited for him. Hachiko went to the station to greet his master in the evening, just to return home when his master did not return. Each day for the next 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days, Hachiko would wait at the Cebu station to greet him. Many people at the Cebu station for first 7 years would treat Hachiko badly, as they regarded him as a stray nuisance. It was after the first appearance of the article about him in SSC Shimbun on October 4, 1932, by one of his students, Hirokichi Saito, people started to bring Hachiko treats and foods during his wait. But in 1935, people found Hachiko dead on a street in Cebu. In 2011, scientists declared the cause of his death as cancer and filarial infection. The last hope. In 1917, during the World War I, when Germany decided to attack US merchant ships, the United States decided to join the war. Among the millions of troops sent over by US was Charles White Whittlesey, who later was made the captain of the 308th Infantry 77th Division, and later promoted to a major. By the fall of 1918, the 77th Division was ordered to move forward against the heavily German attack, which was led by Whittlesey. They marched through a ravine which ended up becoming their prison. The troops were cut off from their supply lines pinned down by German fire. The following days they spent were without food and water, resisting snipers and attacks of German troops armed with hand grenades and flamethrowers. On top of that, they also began to receive friendly fire from Allied troops who didn't know the locations. In frustration, Whittlesey began dispatching messages by pigeons, which were carried by a member of 308th Infantry Regiment. The pigeon carrying the first message was, "Many wounded, we cannot evacuate," was shot down by heavy German fire. The second bird was sent with the message, "Men are suffering, can support be sent?" which is also shot down. On the afternoon of October 4, 1918, Cherami, as the eighth and last pigeon available, was sent carrying the message, "We are along the road parallel 276.4. Our own artillery is dropping a barrage directly on us. For heaven's sake, stop it," as the last hope of their lives. As Cherami tried to fly back home, the Germans opened heavy fire on him, which also resulted in him being shot down, losing the last hope of the battalion. But for their surprise, Cherami managed to take flight again, despite being severely injured. He managed to arrive back at his loft at division headquarters, which was 25 miles away in just 25 minutes. Loft manager Corporal Ernest P. Cockler found Cherami with the message tube hanging only by the tendons of his right leg. A deep wound across his chest, cutting through the breastbone from either a bullet or a shell fragment, and blinded in one eye. By the time Cherami arrived at his loft, the shelling had already ceased, but the message delivered the exact locations of Whittlesey and the battalion, saving the lives of 194 survivors. By the mid-1590s, Morocco and Banquis had be- by the mid-1590s, Morocco and Banquis had by the mid-1590s By the mid 1590s, Morocco and Banquis had what the fuck?